Okay, so we're looking at algebra and geometry again. In the first of these videos I dealt with a question where we were given values around a rectangle and asked to find a value of x knowing what the perimeter was. In this case we have a similar situation, but here we're given the value of the area. So rather than thinking about the perimeter being the distance all the way around the edge, we should be thinking that area is length times width as a key to progressing with this question. So a rectangle has sides 2x plus 3 and x minus 2. The area is 39 centimeters squared. Work out the value of x. And again, they would more than likely give you a diagram to have a look at. So remembering that area is length times width, I would write down the length and the width as a multiplication, so two sets of brackets multiplied together using whichever method you prefer. This one is known as the claw or the parrot's beak, and what that gives us is 2x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 6. Now we know that that is equal to 39 because it tells us in the question that the area is 39. So we've done a calculation to find out the area and we've put it equal to 39. And what we have then is a quadratic to solve. Now this is a quadratic that has what we call a leading coefficient. In other words, there's a number at the front of the x squared, and there is a video on the channel on how to do this, but I will quickly run through what we do, which is to multiply the leading coefficient by the number at the end, which in this case gives us 90, and that's where this has come from. And we look for factors of 90 that will allow us to produce this central number. So 9 times minus 10 gives us minus 90, and 9 take 10 gives us this minus 1 that we require here. So we put the factors of those, the factors of that n number into the brackets. What we then do is bring down the 2x without its square, and we put that in each of the brackets. And what we have to do at that stage is remove the factor that we introduced at the beginning, and it was a factor of 2, so we need to divide one of these brackets by 2. If you look at this one, that's not a straightforward proposition, but this one divides quite nicely by 2 to give us x minus 5. And what we have there then are the two solutions to that quadratic. Excuse me while I just get my paper in the right place. Okay, so what we would say is that either this bracket is 0 or this one is 0. If the first one is 0, we end up with negative 9 over 2, and if the second one is 0, we end up with x equals 5. Now both of those are valid answers to that quadratic, or valid solutions, but because we're working on a question involving length and width, it makes sense to use the positive solution, simply because you can't have a negative length, and so the value of x is 5.